Hello everyone, my name is Made Pranata Dharmasdana. I am from Diplomatry English for Tourism Department of Ganesha University of Education. Okay, in this video, I would like to present. My presentation is about a popular country in the world. And in here, I chose Australian country. And then in this presentation, I would like to explains with you about its uh, point about the Australian country. Is the point number one is a common etiquette, and the number two is how they conduct a business. Number three is a proper topic in a conversation. Number four is a dress code. Number five is a typing in Australia, and number six is a things considered a taboo in Australia. And then number seven is a gift to give. And then the last is some useful expression in Australia. Okay, before I continue the presentation, I have a video. In this video, you can see a little about the Australian country. Okay, let's check the video. Okay, that's all a little about the video about Australian country. And now, please allow me to continue my presentation. And then now, the first, I would like to explain about the common etiquette in Australian country. Etiquette is an attitude of the courtesy or other rules governing the relationship between a civil group of the people in a social interaction. Well, here I will explain directly about the Australian state etiquette. Here I will classify it into three parts, namely as follows. Is the first is meeting etiquette. The point of the meeting etiquette in an Australian country is number one is a be casual and a relaxed while a greeting Aussies, and number two is a handshake and a smile will go a long way. And number three, hi, hello, and a good day is a good way to greet people in Australia. And then number four, houses prefer to use first name even at the initial meeting, so greeting them by the first name is not considered rude or improper. And then the point last is a meet is a common way of the casual addressing a friend, male or a female. Okay, next to the second is a dining etiquette. Dining etiquette in Australia is the first you might get a quite a few invitation to an Aussie home for a BBQ, aka a barbie in Australia. And number two, guests usually bring beer or wine to a Nazi, a BBQ, and sometime if the event is extremely informal. The guests may be asked to get their own meat as well. Okay, the number three is being on to always give an advantage sign since you get to interact with more people and get to know each other better, and that is how it done their BBQ or a party. Punctuality is a good etiquette to have. And then the point number four is always be courteous enough to check with the host or hostess if they would like you to bring something before you arrive at the party. And then number five, it is always nice to offer help to the host or hostess with preparing a meal or cleaning up once the party is over. And then the third is a business meeting etiquette. In Australia, a business meeting etiquette is taking on an appointment in a good sense and necessary and quiet easy to schedule as well. And the number two, make sure you take an appointment well in advance. Number three, punctuality is of utmost importance when it comes to business meetings, so arriving early is advisable rather than being late for a meeting. And the point number four is a meeting are generally relaxed, however, serious work and a compliance during the meetings. Number five is if an Australian takes exception or has a different view to your, they will tell you about it. And then the last is keep your presentation short and effective without any hyped figures and effect. Okay, next to the point number two, it is about how they conduct a business. Usually, in Australians are very straightforward when it comes to business, so they do not need to build a relationship for a long time before doing a business with you. They are receptive to new idea. And then number two is they appreciate it, a modesty, so try not to oversell your company and do not even think of playing aggressive sales technique. Try to be factual, friendly, and to the point, avoiding self-importance. And then number three, if you manage to impress them, they will not make obvious. Number four is Australian demonstrate modesty as much as they appreciate it. They can even downplay their own success, so do not jump into conclusions straight away. Be careful not to play along if they start self-criticizing themselves. They will not be as receptive as you might assume. Number five is if you find yourself a challenge to a controversial discussion during a meeting, do not worry. It is nothing personal. They find debates entertaining and will initiate them by making a provocative statement to which it is best to respond with humor. The number six is the decisions making will be slower and usually as the work environment in Australian business culture is collaborative, top managements will consult subordinates. Do not try, and the next is do not try to rush the decisions. Patience is very much appreciated. And the next, the good news is it is that Australians do not find it hard to say no. So the answer will be clear and straightforward. And the next point, business hours are 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. And then the last is for business purposes, it is best to visit country from March to November as the tourist season occurs from December to February. Okay, next to the point number three is about the proper topic in conversation. In Australian, English is the spoken language at a business meeting. However, stick with standard terms, do not experiment with Australian terms. And then the popular car welcome topic include the weather, sport, or a particularly Australian football (EFL) in Victoria and the National Rugby Leagues (NRL) in New South Wales and Queensland. Anything related to Australia in a positive way is a good conversation starter. Then to number three, topic to avoid tough are religions, politics, and sex, unless the Australian counterpart bring it up. Do not get into immigration and aboriginal issue to matter how curious you are. Also, comment on action will not be welcome as they often distinguish sexual classes. And then the last point about the proper topic in conversation is not that Australians use a colorful language that will be unsteppable in other country. Okay. Next to the point number 4 is about the dress code in a Australian country. Is the first, yeah, usually in the Australians, business dress is a conservative in Melbourne and Sydney. And then the second, a dark colored conservative business suit in a considered suitable for men. And then the third is a woman can wear a smart dress or a business suit. And then the fourth is in a Brisbane or other tropical areas, depending on the job function and company culture, men may wear shirt, ties, and Bermuda shorts. Okay, next to the point number 5 is about tipping in Australia. Tipping in Australia is a fairly new practice and is by no means obligatory. Servers receive a livable minimum wage, which means tipping isn't as necessary as other countries with low pay for employees. It is, however, always welcome to show appreciation for exceptional service. A good rule of thumb is around your bill up to the nearest $5 or $10 when the service exceeds expectations. And be aware that restaurant prices are required by law and include tax and service charge, so there will be no unexpected addition to the cost of an item. It is common for server not to receive tip included on a credit card, so try to leave cash whenever possible. Okay. The next, some tipping in Australia, and especially is Australia tipping guide. It is some example about typing in Australia. Number 1 is Australia tipping guide. The main thing to keep in mind is you needn't tip unless you want to show your gratitude. This Australia tipping guide will help you navigate when or where you can leave a little extra for a great service. Number 2 is a cafe server. If there is a tip jar by the cash register, it's a nice gesture to leave a couple of coins. For exceptional table service, round up to the nearest $5, but give no more than 10%. Number 3 is a restaurant server. There is no obligation to tip as wage staff receive a livable minimum wage. For salary that exceeds expectations, feel free to round the bill up to the nearest 5 or $10. And the next is a bartender. It is a rare to tip a bartender, as most do not expect it, and some may even refuse it. A large round, however, might deserve a few dollars. Dorman. A simple thanks, a simple thanks you for a great service is a success, substance, but feel free to tip $1 if you like. The next is a bellhop. It is considered to tip $1 to $2 per bag, depending on size, but by no means expected. The next is house cleaning. For those staying a week or more, it is considered to leave $5 for a well-maintained room during your stay. Okay, next, a concierge. It is not common to tip the concierge, but it is up to you to tip if you feel the service exceeds expectation and deserves monetary recognition. And the next is a stylist. Don't hesitate to tip 10% of the final bill if you're happy with your new look. And then the last is a spa service provider. Typing is rare, so a tip of the to 10% for exceptional service is appreciated. Okay, next the point number 6 is about things considered taboo in Australia. Some minor taboo in Australia. The number 1 is asking someone how much they earn is considered very impolite. Bragging or telling people how much you earn is also considered rude and will make people respect you much less. Or generally, we don't care how much someone earns. Number 2 is asking how much you paid for something is also pretty rude. Though if you're polite about it and don't shame someone for paying too much, you can ask. Number 3 is driving while drunk is a big taboo in Australia. We used to be trouble drink driver, but attitudes to that have been turned around by some very good and graphic advertising campaigns. And then number 4 is smoking is pretty much a taboo these days. Never smoke it in someone's house or car without getting very clear permission first. Smoking where people are eating is illegal, as is smoking in the car where there are children in the car, and it is illegal in all workplace. Number 5 is with the Me Too movement, sexual harassment is finally heading toward being taboo. Of course, any form of the child abuse is a taboo. Though it taken some hogs and curious into charge, etc. to begin to stem it out. 6 is cruelty to animal is a very despised too. And then number 7 is a counterpoint to this are, or in general, Australians' attitudes to things like sexuality, recreational drug, marital status, etc. Most people are pretty relaxed about them. And then next is A religion doesn't play a big part in Australian life, so more so than being a tolerance of it, we pretty much just don't care about it unless you try to shove your religion in our face. Okay, the last is dishonesty, prejudice, bribery, cheating won't get you any friends or respect either. Okay, next the point number 7 is about give to give in an Australian country. The first, what do the people ask the birthday person to do? In the Australian, the way people think there is a creationally different from our thinking. For them, giving gift that a people don't need to waste of money and is of no use. So when they are friends, they will ask, what do you think you want a birthday person that costs about $50? Or if they already understand what our system is, they will no longer ask a question, but will immediately give them items which according to tradition in Indonesia are not common. Number 2 is a lotto scratches meal voucher for 2 people. Scratches are a gift a paper that sell for anywhere from 5 to $15. The trick is to use it by rubbing it with coins and if there is the same picture 3 times, then you can get prize that can be exchanged for cash. And then the last is standard gift in Australian is a wine. When the friendship is not a very close, then a very common gift is 2 bottles of wines which cost between 10 until 15 a bottle. Okay, next to the last point is about some useful expression in Australian. The first is a good on ya, meaning well done or a good stuff. A general term of appreciation directed at a people who have done something well or nice, like buying another round of drink of cooking dinner. Add a meat or loaf to the end for extra point. The number 2 is you little ripper or you little beauty, meaning is that's a terrific or how excellent. This expression is typically roared at the TV. You found saying that you're beating a horse has won the race, or after finding out your last meeting of the day has been cancelled. And then number 3 is to crack onto somebody, meaning to try to kiss someone or to try to pick someone up. She's been cracking onto him all night. It is an example of how you might use this Australian expression. Expect to hear it at pubs and at a barbies. If 2 people pass, that's usually for kissing passionately, then the operation is generally considered a success, if not. Number 4 is having a wang, meaning to complain. The rejected a party from above may end up in the corner nursing an alcoholic beverage and or having a wines or a soup. You can whinge about anything, really. The whether you or your boss are always good a target. Australians consider themselves fairly happy, good lucky. people, tough, so complaints are typically flung at the following group below. And then the last is a poem, meaning a derogatory word from a British person. A poem, often a winging poem, or sometimes also pommy or a pom. It is a British person, although it was thought to be an acronym of a prisoner of a mother angel. England. Etymologists now believe this to be false. It more likely it came from pomegranate, which was adapted from the rhyming slang for immigrants. Jimmy Grant. This Australian expression may have been inspired by the color English people turn under the harsh antipodean sun. Okay, that's all about my presentation. If I made some mistake from my doing and from my saying, I'm apologies. Thank you.